TikTok is one of the fastest growing apps in the entire world. It has over 1 billion users, and every month it has 3.96 billion active sessions, right? That is absolutely crazy to think about those sort of numbers. In fact, there's only 5.4 billion users, I'd say only 5.4 billion users of the internet worldwide, which means that just under 20% of them use TikTok. That is absolutely crazy numbers. So what I'm gonna teach you today is how you're gonna get in front of those billions of people. We're gonna set up TikTok ads, and not just TikTok ads, we're gonna set up TikTok ads for Shopify. This is gonna be a step-by-step tutorial straight over my shoulder. I'm gonna show you exactly what to do. Whether you're a beginner or a master in e-commerce, this tutorial is gonna teach you everything you need to know. I'm gonna show you how to create a TikTok for business account. I'm gonna show you how to set up your ads account. I'm gonna show you how to connect the pixel into Shopify for TikTok. And then I'm gonna take you through two different types of ad strategies. One is gonna be letting the AI do the ads for you, and the other one is gonna be a manual ads setup campaign. I'm gonna show you how to do the tracking and make sure that everything is absolutely perfect. If you haven't done TikTok ads yet and you've been sitting on the fence, this is the video you're gonna wanna watch. And I recommend you watch it all the way through because it just keeps getting better and better and better. Now, if we're just meeting, my name's Brendan Gillen and I run the e-commerce academy. I've been in e-commerce for over 15 years and I help businesses get their e-commerce stores to $1 million a year. I've done it for my brands and I've done it for over 200 people in the e-commerce academy. And I create videos just like these to help everybody grow their e-commerce business. But that's enough about me. Let's get started on these TikTok ads. Now we're gonna jump into TikTok for Business and start setting up our ad account. Now, if you don't have a TikTok for Business account, lucky for you, I have actually got a deal down below, which has been generously given to me by TikTok. Now, the current deal at the time of this video is this limited time offer, which ends at the end of this month. And it is spend $30 and get $20 in ad credit, or spend $100 and get $100 in ad credit. So it effectively lets you run your ads for free. So I highly recommend you claim this offer. So we just click claim offer. And then we get the option to set up our advertiser account. Now you can either set up with an email address and password, or you can just sign up with your TikTok account. Now what's gonna happen here is it's gonna ask you for permissions from your TikTok account to go into TikTok Business Manager. So just approve all the permissions here for TikTok Business. And now it's gonna create an advertiser account. Go through and fill in all the details here. Then we're going to be asked to set up our billing information. There's two ways you can pay TikTok. The first way is automatic payment, which is going to be via credit card. And then manual payment is where you top up the funds into the account. So it's up to you how you want to do it. Now, if you are topping up the funds, sometimes those funds can deplete and your ads can stop. So I'd recommend using a credit card payment. So it's going to throw us straight into creating a campaign. So let's go through and do that together now. We want to choose our advertising objectives. So there's a number of different objectives here. We've got an awareness objective, a consideration objective, and a conversion objective. Now, because we're into e-commerce, we like to sell things. So we're gonna actually choose the website conversion objective. Click that one there. What we wanna do now is we wanna leverage the AI a lot. So as you can imagine, TikTok has lots of data in it. It's got millions and millions, if not billions of users and billions and trillions of data points, right? So it's a lot smarter than us. It knows a lot more about the platform than we do. So we want to get the AI to do the work for us. So at this stage, we're actually going to click a Smart Plus campaign there, okay? Let's scroll down a little bit more and we're going to give it a campaign name. So we're going to call this Smart Plus Coffee campaign, okay? Because we're going to be selling coffee. Now, special ad categories, whether or not you're doing housing, employment, or credit, completely up to you. We're just doing e-commerce, so we don't need to worry about that. Let's click continue. Okay, great. So our optimization goal is conversion, and we want to show the ads to people who are more likely to convert, which is perfect. Now, the problem is that TikTok doesn't actually know what a conversion looks like, and this is where we need to install the TikTok pixel, and we need to connect TikTok to our Shopify store. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So I want you to head over to the Shopify app store. We pop in here and you may see TikTok already in here. If not, I want you to type TikTok into the search bar and we're going to choose the one with the TikTok icon on it. We can see that this is free to install and we can see that this one is via the developer TikTok. So make sure you're choosing the right one here. We're going to click install and this is now going to install an app directly into your Shopify store. So we're going to click install again. And we're going to go through the setup process, okay? So we click setup now. We're going to connect into that account we've just created. And then we're going to click the TikTok Ads Manager, connect. And then we're going to choose what sort of data we want to share. Now there's 3 types of data here, and this depends on your region on how much you want to share. I always do maximum, but we want to make sure our privacy policy updated. The difference between here is the information that Shopify sends to TikTok, so TikTok can make a better decision about how to find buyers. So the more data you have in here, the better chance you have of finding buyers. However, there's certain laws in certain countries that don't allow you to capture all this. So just double check with your region to see what is right for you, but maximum is absolutely fine. And as you can see here, they're saying the same thing I was just saying. Select our pixel there, and then we just want to click confirm. Awesome, click finish setup. And it says your ad account is underway. It can take up to 24 hours for the pixel and everything to come into play. So from here, let's pop back to TikTok for Business and see whether or not the pixel has synced yet. Sometimes it happens a little bit quicker than they say. So just click refresh. And now we're going to check the data connection, and we can now see there are pixels in here. Now I've actually got 2 because I've done this one before. So we just want to make sure we choose the one that matches our Shopify store. So now we want to choose the optimization event. I want you to choose complete payment. Now the other settings here are all advanced settings that we don't need to set up yet. So if we think this is a brand new account, and the idea of a pixel is that a pixel learns a lot about your Shopify store, and it learns about the audience on TikTok, and it brings them together to optimize for the conversion event that we're asking for. And in this case, it is complete purchase. So we actually don't have any information in this store about that complete purchase event. So we're just going to have to leave it open and let it go out there and learn. So we don't want to set too many rules in here because we don't know the rules that it needs to abide by. Hopefully that makes sense. So if we scroll down a little bit further, we can see attribution window, that 7-day click, 1-day view. Let's just leave that. Count every conversion, billing event. All this is pretty standard. We don't need to change anything here. Look, if you're selling in other regions, obviously make sure that's in the region that you're selling into. So if I was selling into the US out of Australia, I would change that. We don't need to do anything, just leave this all by default. Now budget and schedule, I would set it at about your average order value at least. So if your product sells for $40, set your daily budget at about $40 to start with. Now that's the minimum, and if you can spend more, the better. The more you spend to start with, the quicker you're gonna learn information about what works and what doesn't work in this platform. So I'm going to keep mine at $60 a day. We're going to get it to run continuously. If you do want to set an end time, you could definitely do that here. All right, so this is the identity. So it says use the TikTok account to deliver Spark ads. There's 2 ways we can do this, and you might see this sometimes in TikTok. We can actually run it without having a TikTok account. We can just run an ad. And if you have a look over here, you see this little icon here. If you see an ad or a TikTok video with that icon, it means it's just an ad that's being running and it isn't associated with any TikTok account. Now, because I set this account up with my TikTok account, we can actually use the TikTok identity. So we're gonna turn that on. And we can see that I've got this account here, which is Dose, which is our coffee account. So we're going to choose that. And that means that any ads that come through are going to come through as Dosed. Okay, so a couple of things happen here is 1, it creates a little bit more trustworthiness, and it also will help us get more followers on that account. So it's actually a 2-pronged approach. Great, and now we're going to choose our destination URL. So this should lead to either a collection page or a product page. So I'm going to grab my one there. And paste that in, and that's popped that in there, okay? And so now we're gonna actually start adding in our videos. What I recommend we do here is I've actually got a resource that I've also linked down below that gives you a whole heap of different ideas on the types of videos that you can use, broken down into founder stories, broken down into so many different advertising concepts. Now, there's no right or wrong way to do ads here. The only thing that I do suggest is that you make sure the ads look really native to the platform. We don't want them to look super polished and look really over creative because people can see that they're ads. The ads that really work well in TikTok are the ones that look like proper TikTok videos that are filmed on a phone. They seem, really lo-fi, and they seem like they belong in the platform. We find they're the videos that work absolutely the best. Now you can do one of 2 things. You can upload a video directly into here, or you can use an existing post on your TikTok feed. And one of the things that I recommend doing when you're first starting out is if you've got a video on TikTok that's done really well, you can use that as your ad. Because in theory, if it's doing well organically, it's going to do just as well when we put some money behind it. So now we need to choose the creative that we put in there. So there's a couple of ways I like to think about this is we want to make sure the creative doesn't look like an ad. We want it to make sure that it looks like that's part of the TikTok platform. And the best way to do that is to use an existing post that you have on your TikTok feed. Because we've linked our account directly into here, our TikTok account, it's going to show up in the feed and it's going to look like a native post, but it's going to have a link through to your product. So it's a really effective way to slide an ad into organic content that feels really good. So what we would do is we'd upload this content directly into our TikTok feed. And then what we do is we pull that in and we turn it into an ad. So in order to do that, we click TikTok post under here, and it's going to show us all the posts that we have in our account. So we're going to go through here and we're going to choose the ones that we like. I'm going to grab, I like this one. And we'll choose 3 here so that we can split test them out a little bit. We're going to choose that one and we'll choose that one. Okay. Now my recommendation here is choose posts that have got high engagement, high shares, high comments, because if they're working in your feed, they're going to work even better when they are in ads. Click confirm. And just for now, let's not add in any interactive add-ons. And let's not worry about any third-party tracking settings just at this early stage of setting these up. Let's click publish. And then at this stage, it's going to ask you to enter in your credit card details. I'm going to go and do that now. I'm going to hide this off so you don't see my credit card. Okay, that's being paid for and it's now creating the ad for us. And we've got congratulations. Okay, awesome. Let's go through and we can now see that has started. So because this is a new account, it is saying the account is in review, right? So that might take 24, 48 hours for it to be approved. But once it is, it's going to start spending and then those ads are going to go up. Now, those ads were what we call a Smart Plus ad, which is the most basic version of the ads we can do. It's the quickest way to get up and running, but I want to show you a more advanced way to set these ads up. So let's click back on dashboard here. And when we're at the dashboard, we're going to click Create Ad. Now the advertising objective is going to be the same as the Smart Plus ad. We're going to choose website conversions, but this time we're not going to choose a Smart Plus campaign. We're going to scroll down. We're going to give this one a new name. We're going to call this Dosed Instant Coffee. And we're going to choose Campaign Budget Optimization. Now, campaign budget optimization means that we're going to set the budget at the campaign level. Now, the way a TikTok ad is structured is we have a campaign, and then underneath the campaign, we have things called ad sets. It's very similar to the way Meta ads are set up. So what happens is if we've got a $50 budget, it's going to spend that budget across the ad sets based on the ones that are performing well. And in the type of campaign setup we're going to do here, we're going to have 2 ad sets set up. Okay, so we're going to set the budget at the campaign level for now. Now, they need at least $50 in Australian dollars. I'm not sure what it is in US or whatever country you're in, but just put the minimum in here that you need to spend. And then we're going to click continue. Now we're going to give this ad group a name. We're going to call this Broad Instant Coffee UGC. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're going to say the audience that we're going to be attracting, where the product that we're going to be selling, and then the type of content that we're going to be putting in here. Just so when we reference back to this campaign, we know exactly what it's going to be. Now you could put more information in here, such as the region that you're selling it in. So it might be broad AU, and we might be doing a age range, 18 plus, just so that, again, you know what this audience is going to look like. Now we're going to do the same thing where we've choose the website. Now, our optimization event, here we'd like to choose complete payment, but because it's a brand new pixel, I don't have a complete payment event that has triggered on here. So you may not actually see it on here. So what I want you to do is just choose an event that is as close to the checkout as possible. So we think about this journey, we've got view content, initiate checkout, add to cart. The one that is as closest to the checkout as possible is initiate checkout. So we're going to choose that one. Now, once you start getting sales on this, we can go back in and we can move this to complete purchase. All right, let's keep going down. And we've got placements here. We've got automatic placements and we can select our placements. Now, I always select placements because we don't want to waste our money. All we want it to be is on the TikTok page, okay? Including the search results. So make sure you do that. Click advanced settings. Just want to make sure that users can comment, they can download, happy for them to share. That's all fine. All right, now here we're going to go into targeting. So for this first ad group, we're going to do a broad targeting. And what that means is it's going to be very similar to the Smart Plus. We're just going to let it go out and find us an audience, right? So we're going to be putting off 2 campaigns against each other. This broad one, and then we're going to do a different one in a moment, which is an interest-based one. So in here, all we want to set is the region we want to target and potentially the age demographic we want to target. Even then, I've been trying this with or without the age, and both of them have different results. So this is where you would test that a little bit. So we're going to choose Australia, and I'm going to do all ages. Like I said, if you just want to target a certain demographic, you can. I would keep all genders open. I don't really need to tighten down that far unless it's a highly gender specific product, then we can put it in that way. The reason we don't do gender specific in most cases is sometimes women might buy for men and men might buy for women, and we don't want to alienate them from the product. However, if it is a women targeted product such as personal hygiene or, you know, a men's product, you know, we can do that, but I like to leave this one open in the broad element. All right, so spending power is all. High spending power is the degree at which someone spends with you. So we want to keep this nice and broad. So we want to have all. It doesn't matter if they're cheap or rich or whatever it is. Audience, we're not going to do anything in here at this stage. Interested behaviors, we're not going to do anything in here. We're just leaving it wide open. Budget and schedule, it's going to use the campaign budget. We're going to get to start now. We're going to have it just go all day for now. Again, we're just letting it off the leash. Optimization is conversion goal. So the optimization goal is the goal that we're giving TikTok so it knows what a successful ad looks like. So its goal here is to optimize for conversions. Now, we can optimize for traffic, we can optimize for followers, we can optimize for all those sorts of things. So depending on what goal we give TikTok, is it's going to go and find the right people for that. Now, in e-commerce world, we always want to do for conversions. Okay, we don't need to do anything around target CPA at this stage. Attribution settings, we can leave alone. Let's have a quick look in advanced. That is all good. Let's click continue. Now, this is going to look very similar to what we saw before, but there's just going to be a few different things. So we're going to use TikTok to deliver Spark ads. So we're going to choose our account again, a little bit like we did before. And now this time it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to actually be able to upload our content. You've got two options here. You've got an option to upload a single video, or you've got an option to upload carousel images. So both of these are fine. I like to start with single videos because they're more native to the platform, but we are definitely seeing carousel images working really well as well. So single video will be the one that we want it to be. And then in here, you're going to see now we've got a plus video where we didn't have that before in the Smart Plus ads. So we're just going to go in and click add video, and we're going to click upload. This is the video I want to put in there. I'm just going to have a quick preview. That looks great. We're going to click open. And that should upload. We're going to click continue. We can now see that that is uploading the creative into this ad, okay? So start with a single video. You could do carousels in the future as well. We'll test those ones out. Okay, so the next part is we want to add the text. Now, this is our the text that goes into it. Now, we only want sort of a very small sentence in here, like no more than 5 words. So we'd write something like this coffee will change your life. Or actually, you know what? It should be more of a call to action, actually. You know, get the best coffee ever, okay? And you can see, should preview it there, get the best coffee ever. Actually, no, I prefer this coffee is life-changing, okay? More emotive. Something along those lines. Yeah, this coffee is life-changing, okay? Awesome. So that is really cool. And then we're going to change our call to action here. So we've got apply now, interested. None of those actually make sense. So I'm going to delete all those now. And we're just going to have order now. Check it out, read more. That's really all we want. Order now. That's all we want. So just go through and delete all the ones you don't need. Shop now might be a goodie. Perfect. Okay, great. So that's that one done. That's what the ad's going to look like. So let's go down and put in our URL. We're going to put in the same URL that we did in the Smart Plus ads. Now, for those of you that have multiple products and you're driving someone to a collection, drive them to collection page. You should never have an ad go directly to your homepage. It should always either go to a collection page or directly to a product page. So we've got the URL in there. This is saying that we're allowed to use it. Now, URL parameters are really important on this one here. So this is so we can track it in Shopify, okay? So in here, we're gonna call the campaign source. I'm gonna call this TikTok, so we know where it's come from. The campaign medium, we're gonna call it CPC. The campaign content, we're gonna give it campaign name. Sorry, not campaign name. We'll put that as ad name. And then we're gonna call campaign name. Okay, so now when we get a sale within Shopify, we're going to be able to check the conversion details of where this ad came from. Let's click apply. So let's go back down and have a look. We'll double check. Okay, website events, app events. We don't need to do anything in app events because we don't have an app. Offline events don't need to worry about. This is all optional tracking, so we can just skip that. So that one's all set up, guys. So we're going to click publish all on that one. And now what we're going to do is we're going to set another ad group up, and this ad group is going to be interest-based. Okay, so we're gonna do the same ad, but we're gonna do it interest-based to see which one performs better. Okay, so we're going to go back to campaigns. We're going to click campaigns here, and we can see we've got this new one here. So we're going to click into there. You can see we've got this ad group, which is the broad one. We're going to copy that one, and we're going to paste it into the existing campaign. Okay, and we're going to call it interest, as in interest groups, and we're going to be targeting coffee lovers. Okay, and then it's selling instant coffee, and it's going to be UGC. So we click. We'll do copy, and we'll make sure we're copying the ads. So we're just going to edit. We're not going to change the ads. We're going to click copy here. But what we're going to do, instead of being broad, we're going to put in interest groups now. Okay. We've still got the same pixel. We've still got initiate checkout. We'll change this to complete payment once we've got one. We can see this is all the same. But here we're going to change the targeting. Now, if you've done this before, you're going to have an audience in here, but we don't have that at the moment. So we're going to go through and start filling this out. So I'm going to do this a little bit of a younger demographic, younger-ish, I guess, 35 to, we'll do that as well. Still going to have all languages are all. So we're not going to include the actual audience. We're going to include interests and behaviors. So in here, we're just going to start searching for things. I might search in for the word coffee. So we're going to have a look here. Might type in coffee lover, see if that comes up. Yep, coffee lovers, awesome, that's in there. Now we're just going to go through and choose lots of things to do with coffee that we think these people are interested in. So let's see what else they come up with. Okay, coffee, coffee makers, coffee accessories. We might just do coffee. We might do best coffee, that was in there as well. We might just start filling it in with interests here. Okay, might do food and beverage, do a few more. What else have we got? Now we can see on the right hand side, we've either got what they're interested in, so they're things that they like to watch or engage with. We've got what they like to purchase, and then any other additional interests they have. So we want to have a good combination of interests, purchases, and any additional interests. Especially purchases are a good one for this. Now we wouldn't put in things like coffee makers and coffee accessories. Actually, you know what? I might put coffee makers in, because if they like making coffee at home, they're probably going to want to buy this as well. So I might do coffee makers, that they're intent to buy that. You know what? I'm going to put in accessories as well. They're interested in, we've done best coffee. We've done coffee lovers. Let's have a look. Instant coffee, yeah, let's chuck that in there. Iced coffee, we know they love that. Morning, excellent. Drink coffee, hot coffee. Don't want to put coffee table in there. Cold coffee, yeah, we can make cold coffee. Delicious coffee. So you can see what we're doing here. We've now just built a interest targeting around coffee, all right? So this is gonna be a little bit more hyper targeted as opposed to the broad brush approach. So go through there and start to build out an interest based around the type of audience that you want to attract. Okay, everything else remains the same. The budget remains the same. Conversion goal remains the same. We'll just go through, we'll double check. The ad is all good. Okay. Ad name, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to actually change this ad here just so that we've got it. It's going to be interest ad coffee lovers. And the ad is bottle in a hand, okay? So, and this is just so when we reference it, we know which ad is working. Now, when we have hundreds of ads or even 10 ads in here, we want to be able to reference them by their titles as opposed to having to click into each ad. All right, so that one is good. I'm just going to copy that because I'm going to rename the other one as well. And single video, it's the same one. All the text is pretty much the same. Cool. So it's a super basic ad setup, but you know, this is all we need to do to really get started. And I click publish all on that one. Back to campaigns. So I'm just going to go in and rename this. We can just click the little icon here. Oh, it's a bit funky. We'll delete that. We'll paste the one I did in there, and we're just going to change this to broad ad. Awesome. And tick that. So they're all set up. We've got a broad ad and we've got an interest-based ad. And they sit under these separate ad groups here, which then sit under the campaign, which has a budget of $50 a day. And this Smart Plus one has a budget of $60 a day. So that's pretty much how you set up a TikTok ad for Shopify. We've done a couple of things here. We've created an AI-driven ad, which is called the Smart Plus one, and we let it do its work. And we've also created a more manual one, which throws a broad audience and an interest-based audience in there together. Now, the key to this here is we need to let it run for at least 7 days, because what needs to happen is the algorithm has to go out there and try and find you customers, try and find those conversion events, try and warm up your pixel, try and see what creative is working. If we stop this ad too early, we're not going to know whether it works or not. Now, two things are going to happen at the end of the 7 days. One, you're going to get lots and lots of sales, you're going to be really happy. And we've learned, which means we can spend more money, we can try more ads, and we can see what happens. Now, let's just say you've run these ads and you don't make any money. That's also a positive thing because we've learned. We can look at the ad creative, we can look at the data, we can see what's happening, and we can determine what went wrong. We're going to try it again, and we're going to make improvements on what went wrong. The biggest mistake I see when people run ads on either TikTok or Meta or Google is they only let it run for 1 or 2 days and it doesn't work. Now, that just doesn't give the algorithm and the platform enough time to go out there and actually find you customers. You need to give it time to find customers, okay? So hopefully that's been helpful for you. If you've enjoyed this video, I think you know what to do. If you subscribe to this channel, if you're not already. If you want to work with me, we do have an e-commerce academy program. I've got all the details below in the description. But if you just want to binge on some of my content, I recommend you try one of these ad videos here. One's going to be for Facebook ads and one's going to be for Google ads if you really want to level up your e-commerce business.